Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, no matter how many times you tell yourself this month will be different, the debt just stays? Like it's got roots. You're not alone, and you're not bad with money. But there's something quietly working against you that nobody ever explained. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Here's what most people believe. If I just earned a little more, I'd finally be able to pay this off and get ahead. So they wait for the raise, for the bonus, for tax season, and sometimes that extra money actually arrives. But somehow, a few months later, the debt is still there. Maybe it's a little different. Maybe it moved around, but it didn't disappear. And the person is left wondering, what is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. The problem isn't your income. The problem is a pattern. A deeply human, deeply psychological pattern that most people repeat their entire lives without ever realizing it's happening. And it has a name. It's called the debt trap cycle. And here's exactly how it works. Picture a hamster wheel. The hamster runs hard. It's genuinely putting in effort. But at the end of the day, it's in the exact same spot. That's the debt trap cycle. It starts with an emergency. Your car breaks down. A medical bill shows up. Your phone dies and you need a replacement for work. Life doesn't warn you. It just happens. And because there's no savings buffer sitting there ready, you do what feels like the only option. You put it on the credit card. You borrow. You tell yourself it's temporary. Just this once. But now you're carrying debt. And life doesn't pause while you pay it off. Rent is still due. Groceries still need buying. The kids still have needs. So you're trying to pay down the debt while also keeping up with everything else. It's like trying to bail out a boat while someone else is still drilling holes in it. And because all your extra money is going toward keeping up, you can't build any savings. Which means when the next emergency comes, and it always comes, you go right back to the card. More debt, more interest, more stress. And the cycle repeats. Now here's the part that makes this genuinely dangerous. The interest. Let's make it simple. Say you have $4,000 in credit card debt at a 19% interest rate. If you only pay the minimum each month, you could be paying that off for close to a decade. And by the end, you'll have paid back almost double what you originally borrowed. The bank doesn't just want its money back. It wants a significant chunk of your future income too. Every month you carry that balance, part of your paycheck isn't really yours. It belongs to interest. That's not a math problem. That's a slow leak draining your financial future. Here's where it gets fascinating. Because this isn't really about credit cards. It's about how your brain works. Psychologists call it present bias. And it's one of the most powerful forces in human decision-making. Your brain is wired to care intensely about right now and treat the future almost like it belongs to a stranger. A distant, blurry version of you that you know exists but don't really feel connected to. So when you're tired after a long week and your brain says you deserve this dinner out, this new thing, this small treat, that feeling is immediate and real and powerful. But the consequences, the interest next month, the tighter budget in 3 months, the stress 6 months from now, those live in that blurry future. And your brain doesn't weigh them equally. This is exactly why smart, hardworking people end up in debt. It's not carelessness, it's biology. And then there's something called the minimum payment illusion. This one is sneaky. When you see a credit card bill for $3,000, your stomach drops. 3,000 feels impossible. But then you see the minimum payment. Maybe it's $55. And suddenly your brain exhales. $55 I can do. So you pay it. You feel responsible. You feel like you handled it. But what actually happened? Most of that $55 went to interest, not to the actual balance. The debt barely moved. But your brain already filed it under dealt with. Credit card companies understand psychology better than most therapists. The minimum payment is designed to keep you comfortable enough to stay in debt forever. And there's one more layer. Financial stress doesn't just hurt your wallet. Research shows it actively occupies your mental bandwidth, the cognitive space you use to make decisions, solve problems, focus at work. When you're constantly running money calculations in your head and dreading the end of the month, you have less mental energy for everything else, including making the better financial choices that would actually help you. Debt doesn't just cost money. It quietly costs you clarity. So what actually breaks the cycle? The first shift is this. Stop waiting for income to solve a behavioral problem. More money without a change in pattern just means more money flowing through the same leaky bucket. The sequence has to change. Most people operate like this: earn, spend, save whatever's left. And whatever's left is almost always nothing. Flip it. Earn, save first, then spend what remains. Even a small amount moved automatically into a separate account before you can touch it starts building the cushion that breaks the emergency to credit card pipeline. The second shift is in how you attack the debt itself. Don't stare at the total number. It's designed to overwhelm you. Pick one debt and focus there. Some people target the highest interest rate first to save the most money mathematically. Others pay off the smallest balance first to get a psychological win and build momentum. Both work. The one that keeps you moving is the right one. The third shift is awareness. Start noticing the moments when present bias shows up. When you're stressed, tired, or just had a hard week and your brain is justifying a spend. You don't have to always say no. Just make the choice consciously, not on autopilot. That pause, that 2-second gap between impulse and action, is where financial lives actually change. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Debt is not a character flaw. The system you're navigating was built by incredibly smart people, whose business model depends on keeping you borrowing. The psychological traps are real. They are intentional, and almost no one in school ever explained them to you. But here's the thing about traps. Once you can see them clearly, they lose their grip. The minimum payment stops feeling like relief and starts feeling like a trick. The impulse buy gets a second of pause. The emergency fund stops feeling like a luxury and starts feeling like the most important financial move you can make. You're not behind because you weren't trying hard enough. You were running hard on a wheel that was never designed to take you anywhere. Now you know what the wheel looks like, and knowing that is the first step to stepping off it. Subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.